Hey, why don't you tell Santa what you want for Christmas, little boy?
Better hygiene?
We just got a huge Terrifier 4 update regarding shooting dates, casting, and plot details. This is the biggest update we've had in a while on the film. I am so excited, let's get into it. Hey everybody, I'm Killjoy Jake, and instead of having friends, I have horror movies. Before we get into today's update and theory, please make sure to subscribe to the page for more horror movie videos just like this in the future. Today's update tells me that we will certainly have some more Terrifier 4 news in the coming weeks, so don't forget to subscribe. Also, the best way to support the page is by either becoming a channel member or picking something up at the deliciously evil merch store. Check out both of these things by clicking on the links in the description below. Now, let's get into the update. Doing a slight recap here first, Terrifier 4 was first announced a little before the release of Terrifier 3 by franchise creator Damien Leone himself. It's been revealed by him as well that this finale movie will showcase Art's backstory within the first 15 minutes, and Damien has even hinted at the possibility of 2 more movies. So a Terrifier 4 and a Terrifier 5. Lately, however, it seems like Terrifier 4 is going to be the singular finale film wrapping up the Sienna and Art the Clown saga. Today's update even confirms that. Coming from productionlist.com, Terrifier 4 is scheduled to go into production on September 21st of this year in New York City. The plot summary given by the website reads, "The concluding installment in the Art the Clown saga reveals Art's origin and the mythology around Sienna Shaw." Mad shout out to both Critical Overlord and Kay over on Twitter for bringing this to my attention. On top of that, this confirms that David Howard Thornton and Lauren Lavera, who play Art the Clown and Sienna Shaw respectively, will return for the 4th entry. Of course they will. We all knew that was gonna happen, but now it's confirmed. We also have some updates on the crew as well. Damien Leone will of course return to write and direct, and he'll also produce alongside Phil Falcone. George Stuber will also return to shoot the flick. Everybody we're talking about here plays a key role in bringing the Terrifier franchise to life, so this is all good news across the board. With the flick shooting this fall, I'm sure we're gonna get a bunch of Terrifier 4 updates for the next couple of months, and you know your boy is gonna be covering them. Just like with Terrifier 2 and Terrifier 3, we'll likely get some crazy behind the scenes images that'll lead to some insane theories and weird update videos. Just like this one. Speaking of which, let's start speculating a bit. The Terrifier franchise will once again shoot this fall, which makes me wonder if this is going to be a Halloween movie again versus the Christmas theme that we got last time. I'm okay with this because I think the only big slasher themed holiday that you could do to call back to 80s slasher flicks in some way, shape, or form is maybe Valentine's Day. Perhaps Art the Clown could rip somebody's heart out of their chest, calling back to My Bloody Valentine. Oh wait, he already did that.
No, my God! No, please! No!
I made a video in the past talking about the different holidays that Terrifier 4 could be set on, but I feel like that shock has lost some value now. It was really exciting seeing Art the Clown dressed up as Santa Claus on that initial poster for Terrifier 3, serving as a big reveal. But would it work the same way if we just did that again for Terrifier 4? I don't know if I necessarily want Terrifier 4 to just rinse and repeat the same formula that worked from Terrifier 3. I do think that Terrifier 4 is going to have a theme, just maybe not something that's holiday related. I mean, we're likely going to Damien's version of hell that's been teased in the previous 2 films, if that's the Clown Cafe or the fire and brimstone-laden demon welding Sienna's new set of armor together. The theme for Terrifier 4 is Dante's Inferno starring Sienna Shaw. It might not be a holiday, but hell is a pretty crazy place to end your slasher series. Talk about an elevation, man. Just don't take this guy to space. Please don't bring Art the Clown to space. Putting all of those theories aside though, I think what's most likely is that we're going to pick up right where we left off in Terrifier 3. Sienna doesn't necessarily need to heal up based on the last time we saw her in Terrifier 3, where her hand wounds like just zipped up magically. What's up with that? Also, Art is likely going to kill those 2 characters on the bus. So I've had a little Terrifier 4 theory in my back pocket for literal months now, and I finally have an excuse to bring it into a video. I am so excited right now, you don't even know. Damien revealed recently that Art the Clown's origins will be explored within the first 15 minutes of the new film. So how do you naturally implement that into the story as it stands now? I say you do something that has never happened in the franchise before, and the cops finally catch up to Mr. Clown. Here's why. There's sort of been an ongoing subplot in the background of the Terrifier movies regarding the failed police investigation. The cops shot and killed Art in the original Terrifier, which led to his supernatural resurrection, and another officer was taken out off screen by Art in the third entry. I kinda wanna know what the cops think about Art the Clown. They have to be like totally perplexed, right? Also, they gotta be hot on this guy's trail after the mall explosion. Like, that didn't go under their noses. I get that slasher movies are way more fun when you have an incompetent police presence, but what if in this case it actually serves the plot big time? I also have to say that the cops kind of have an advantage now. Art the Clown is still alive and running around, which is kind of the first time one of these movies has ended that way. Art the Clown still walks among us at the end of Terrifier 3, escaping out of that window when Sienna was trying to save Gabby. In literally every other Terrifier movie, he's been executed and then resurrected somehow. So let's say that Art the Clown is caught in the act of killing those two people on the bus and is then arrested. He doesn't have enough time to, well, as Kermit would say, slide down the sewer, if you catch my drift. Art gets taken in for questioning, Hannibal Lecter style, and the cops give us the whole scoop. Art the Clown is likely a serial killer from the 90s who killed a bunch of kids, buried them in the basement of that creepy house we saw in Terrifier 3, and his rampage somehow continues today. Like I said earlier, the cops have to have no idea how this guy is still alive after multiple reports of the guy being dead. Now, I'm not saying Art the Clown's going to jail for life because that would be no fun. He's of course going to escape because the entity's gonna help him out. Dude's gonna kill anyone standing in his way. That is of course going to happen. This would be a gnarly setting for this movie, which is something Damien has teased recently. His justification for multiple movies is that he has a few different set pieces in mind to throw Art the Clown at. And wouldn't a grimy, hard-boiled police station be like the perfect setting for Art the Clown to commit atrocities at? I think so. One more thing I want to add about this potential police station sequence is that I think it would be the perfect spot to put a Rhea Ripley cameo. She could play one of the lead officers, maybe specifically the cop that actually captures Art the Clown, and of course, subsequently gets killed for it later on. That would be epic. Rhea Ripley has been lobbying hard to get killed in this franchise, while Damien Leone has been retweeting her posts and podcast clips. So like, it's definitely happening. We're gonna see her in Terrifier 4, but how is the question now. Rhea is a total muscle mommy. I would love to see her take down Art the Clown. Kind of. The other reason a police station setting would be perfect for the plot of Terrifier 4 is because what the hell is going on with Sienna Shaw at this same time? If you remember from Terrifier 3, there was this introduction of the idea that maybe some of the public thinks that Sienna is responsible for some of these murders. Remember Mia and her insensitive podcast from the previous film? That's definitely going somewhere in the next movie. Maybe the police discover her at her extended family's house with bodies adorned on the fucking wall. Oh, and not to mention a missing child too. The cops are definitely going to arrest her on the spot. That could bring Art the Clown and Sienna to the same location where they are somehow dragged into hell. Don't forget the entity is definitely going to be there somehow helping out Art the Clown. That could be your way to write in some sort of hell portal. It wouldn't be the first time we saw one of those in the franchise either, like in the end of Terrifier 2 and Terrifier 3. This could lead to Sienna potentially saving Gabby from the pits of hell and also untethering Art the Clown from this evil entity. That would not only be dope as hell, but that's how they could totally get around the whole no snow on the ground during production, just keep most of it inside. That's just my theory regarding Terrifier 4, however. What do you guys think is going on here? Let me know your crazy theories about Art the Clown and Sienna Shaw's saga wrapping up likely sometime next year in the comments below. Thank you all for watching, please subscribe, and as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all.